Let's take a look at the InDesign interface. It's really important that you know your way around InDesign. Once you know your way around, you can start clicking on different things and figuring out more and more things that you can do to make yourself a faster and more efficient designer. So I've made an activity for you called InDesign Interface Label Activity. It's a Google slide, and you will choose from the item bank here at the bottom. You'll click on one of the words and you'll just drag it to one of the blue rectangles, exactly what it represents. Okay, that's all you need to do. Label each area of the Adobe InDesign interface, drag the correct name to the blue rectangle to label the correct interface area. So let's take a look at InDesign to get to know our way around a little bit better. You may already know some of these, but you may pick up on something new. So right now you can see that I've got some panels over here to the right, but we don't really recognize these because we've been working in the workspace called Essentials Classic. Right now this workspace is specifically for typography. So if I click this little roll down arrow right here, that tells me there's more information. I'm going to choose Essentials Classic, which is what I'd like for you to be in for most of this course. When I click on Essentials Classic Workspace, you can see that the panels got a little less and the toolbar is over here on the left. So what I'd like to do is type in a word and change the color. So I'm going to choose my text tool to make a text frame. Some people call it a text box, but in InDesign, we call them frames. They're either graphic frames or text frames. So I just made a text frame and I typed in the word hi, but it's really small. And I can see up here in the options bar that it's only measured in 12 points. And since it's highlighted, I know that once I change this point size, it's going to get larger. So I'm going to choose the largest one, which is 72. And it didn't really get that much bigger. So what I can do is go back to the point size, double click 72, and actually type in a larger number and hit enter on my keyboard. And now it got much bigger. So now I want to change the colors. Well, at the bottom of the toolbar, here is the fill and the stroke of that letters. So if I go over here to these panels, I want to find the swatches panels. And as I hover over each one, it tells me what panel that it represents. And here it is right here, swatches. Click it one time and the swatches panel opens up. So right now I have the stroke in the front. So I'm going to choose red. And you can see it already got a little red outline on there. So my stroke is now red. I'm going to highlight it again to make sure that that actually takes place because I didn't have it highlighted before. There we go. Now we've got a red stroke around it. And if I click the fill and bring that to the front, I'm going to make that blue. And there it is. There is my blue letters with a blue fill with a red stroke, the word hi. Okay, so now over here in my swatch panel, there are two unique things in every panel. I can see these three, or actually it's four little lines, and you'll always hear me refer to these as the hamburger menu because they sort of look like a little hamburger. You've got your bun and your lettuce and your hamburger and then your bottom bun, or maybe even you have your cheese in there. It's just a stack of lines, but I call them the hamburger menu because it gets lost. Those little lines get lost. If I click that, I get so many more options that I can click on inside of that swatches panel. I can click on a new gradient swatch. I can duplicate, I can delete. There's all kinds of things in the hamburger menu. Another thing that I can get to is at the bottom of the panel. There's always little icons at the bottom. And if I hover, the first one is swatch view. new color group, new swatch. If I click on new swatch, it actually makes a copy of a swatch color. And if I double click on that swatches icon, I can literally go in there and make whatever color I want, and I can name it. I can call it my favorite color if I want. Didn't do much there, did it? You just got to play around with all these different things. Look at all these things that I can click on. Okay, so I click OK. Didn't really do much, but that's okay. We'll get into colors later. So I have also I've made this frame here, this text frame, and I'm going to move it up here to the top. I'm going to move it up here and line it up with these pink margins. These are actually margins, just like in a Google Doc, all the way around there, even on the bottom. So those are my margins, and I've put my word hi right up there on the top. Another thing that you might notice are these rulers. They're all the way on the top, and they're all the way on the left-hand side. And the rulers are great because I can click in the ruler and I can drag and pull down a guide. And I can right-click on the ruler and change my measurement. So I can change it to pixels or centimeters, but I'm going to keep it in inches. So that's the cool thing about the rulers at the top and the bottom. And then the last thing that I'm going to do is remind you that up here in the menu bar, if you ever get lost, you can click on Window and it will take you to any panel or anywhere that you need to be. So if I need to see colors, I can just click on color and colors pop up. Or if I want to click on links and see what images I have in there, there's links. So this is a great introduction or recap for the InDesign interface. And one thing I didn't do was I didn't change the document name, but it's Untitled 1 for now. It tells me right here, that is my document name. And if I want to change that name, I would go to File, Save As. I like for you guys to always use your last name when you are saving things. McClary.interface. Make sure you know where you're saving it to. And all of a sudden, Untitled 1 becomes McClary Interface.